Are you ready to make the world's best granola?
Full of nutrition with a lot of great ingredients. You're gonna enjoy it.
Here's how.
If you're watching this video, you had your recipe that you received from us. And we're gonna tell you all what you need to make this fabulous recipe. You're gonna need a big bowl, for a small bowl, and for a little bowl to put all the ingredients there so you can start your recipe. You're also going to need 2 flat pans with 2 big spoons to toast.
There's 2 parts to this recipe. First is mixing dry ingredients in a large bowl, and the second is combining things in a saucepan and bringing them to boil. Here are 8 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats. You have 1 cup of cashews, 1 cup of pumpkins, 1 cup of walnuts, and 1 cup of pecans. We have a half a cup of flaxseed, 2 tablespoons of hemp heart seeds, 2 tablespoons of black sesame seed, and 2 tablespoons of white sesame seeds. You take 1.5 cups of raisins and put them in hot water. Then lastly, you have 1 cup of sweetened coconut flakes.
So these ingredients, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put all your whole rot all together with the oat, all of them. You're just gonna put it all together, no worries. All the seeds goes together. You're gonna love this recipe. Since we're gonna have to toast this all together, we're gonna put it in a bigger bowl so we can mix it well. So we're gonna keep adding the rest of the ingredients like the coconut flakes. We're gonna add it as well. And then we're going to take off the water from the raisins and we're gonna toss it as well in there with all the other ingredients. So you take all the water off. Okay, that is okay. So we keep going and we just drop all the raisins together with all other seeds and oats, and yeah, we're just gonna toss it all together. Now, what you do, you got your 2 big spoons. You can use your hand as well, but what I do is I like to use 2 spoons because I can get it as good as if I use my hand. Okay, this is the first part of the recipe. Now we're gonna put together the second part of the recipe and add it to it. Stay tuned.
Now here's the real secret. Unfortunately, our little Christmas card couldn't fit everything on it, which is why we put the QR code and why you're here on the website. The website that you're looking at this video on has the recipe that you can click and download and print local. But we're going to go through the second part right now, which is combining ingredients in a saucepan and bringing them to a boil. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of fine grained salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice, not pictured here, 1.25 cups of melted coconut oil, 1.5 cups of honey, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Let's go put them in a saucepan. So we're going to take 1.25 cups of coconut oil that's been melted, put it in the saucepan. 2 teaspoons of fine grained sea salt, fine sea salt. It's fine. 1, 2. Now we have 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. There we go. Very scientific. Now we have 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice. Here's the fun part. 1.5 cups of honey. 1.5. Here we go. Whoa. Whoa, this is great. I feel like Yogi Bear. Next we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Not 1 3/4, not 2.5, but 2. That completes the wet stuff that goes to a full boil while we stir it. Okay.
While the wet ingredients are boiling, I'm gonna preheat the oven at 300 degrees. While we're waiting for the boil, we're gonna spread the cookie sheet.
It's boiling. Now we're going to pour it into the dry mix. So now that it's boiling, we're going to pour it into the dry mix. Oh, look at that. And then mix it very well.
I think we're ready. One of the things that you're going to notice while you're mixing and tossing is that there is a fabulous smell. Coconut flake and the coconut oil make the recipe smell so nice.
Now you're going to pour the granola onto the prepared pans and use a large spoon to spread them as an even layer. Then we're going to pat that layer down hard. So what we're doing is we're spreading out the granola into the two baking pans as evenly as possible.
We can use a heavy pan to pound this granola down, or you can use a heavy mortar and pound it down.
So now we're ready to put it in the oven for 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes and it's time to take them out of the oven. The next thing we're going to do is just pound them down again with the heavy mortar or a plate or anything you want, just to flatten it out, and then we put it back in the oven for another 30 minutes. After pounding them down, you have a choice of putting a little sugar on top. I like a lot of sugar, so of course we're going to do that.
After pounding down multiple times, we are going to put them back on the oven for another 30 minutes.
So now we did the second 30 minutes, and it's time to take them out of the oven. At this point, we wait 45 minutes for them to fully cool. So here's the fun part. You get some 1-gallon Ziploc bags. You smash it up into pieces. You put most of them in the freezer, and you keep one out at a time to enjoy. Tip number 1, don't smash it too small. Smashing it small is great for cereal, but when you want a snack, you want some big pieces. Watch closely. See how it comes up in a sheet like this? Look at that. And you just start smashing it up. Again, I've learned not to smash it too finely, because sometimes at night when your wife goes to bed, you want to go in there and just grab a piece like that. Here's tip number 2. You go under with a spatula, lift it up, lift and smash. No sampling till the end. Lift it up, smash it up. So this is looking pretty good right here. Now, another expert tip, tip number 3. We've got 2 batches. This batch does not have sugar on it. That batch does have sugar on it. Keep them in separate bags. That way you get the one with the sugar on it, and the rest of the family can get the one with no sugar. And you'll be surprised how fast this goes and how much better it is than any granola you've ever had. There you have it. If you have any trouble, give us a call. We'll help you cook it.
See you in our next recipe.
Yeah, stay tuned for our next recipe. 727-353-6636. Keith and Jamil behind the camera.